Hello YouTube family and welcome to another installment to my money making guide series, Runecrafting Double Nature Runes. Before we jump into this video, please hit that subscribe button, comment and rate. Okay, so this method does require a steep runecrafting level of 91. As you can see, I have 91 runecrafting. In this guide I will be using the runecrafting method that involves the Abyss. So for this method I will need glories to teleport to the Edgeville Bank. These are just some of my glories and they each have 4 charges. I didn't have to recharge any of my glories for this example. However, if you do need to recharge your glories, you can simply use a recharge Dragonstone Jewelry scroll. One scroll will recharge an inventory full of glories and it only costs 200 GP each. Next, you will want to have your Lunar Spellbook on to repair any of your pouches that become damaged. The pouches that we will be using are the Giant, Large, Medium, and Small. I will be doing an hour of runecrafting double nature runes and I will start once the rune light timer hits 12 minutes. For the gear, I wore a full graceful, rune pickaxe, glory, and a dueling ring. I started from the Edgeville Bank. From there, I run into low-level wilderness to reach the Mage of Zamorak. He teleports us to the Abyss. Once in the Abyss, you have to pass one of the obstacles to reach the inner layer. From there, we enter the Rift and that leads you to the Nature Altar. The pickaxe is for the obstacles. The 2 obstacles I do are the agility and the mining ones. A good tip is you can hold shift down on your keyboard and left click on the pouches to empty them. This will save you a lot of time. Another thing to mention is when you enter the Abyss, it drains your prayer down to 0 and you are skulled. Once you craft your nature runes, you will want to teleport with your glory back to Edgeville to restock on essence and repeat the cycle. Here is a great example of having to repair a damaged pouch. To repair your pouch, you will want to cast the NPC contact spell and speak with a dark mage. This requires 67 magic and the spell consists of 2 air, 1 astral, and cosmic rune. I kept enough runes for 500 cast in my rune pouch so that I can quickly withdraw it from the bank to use when needed. To access the Abyss, you will need to have completed the Enter the Abyss mini quest. The Abyss allows you to not only access the different rune altars, but supplies the pouches. The pouches are dropped by the NPCs within the Abyss. You can get the small pouch at level 1 runecrafting, but to acquire all 4 pouches you will need 75 runecrafting. All the pouches hold a combination of 30 additional essences. Another thing when doing this method is you will want to take a sip or 2 of a stamina potion once your run gets too low. One reason is because you want to get as many runes crafted as quickly as possible. Another reason is because you are traveling through the wilderness skulled with no prayer. Players often PK by the Mage of Zamorak. I've been PK'd in the past doing this method. The only thing I lost was my rune pick and glory. They aren't worth much. It's more of an inconvenience of having to run back to pick up your graceful and pouches and then rebank. It messes up the rhythm. Speaking of rhythm, as you do this method more, you will eliminate the unnecessary clicks. During this hour, I only miss emptying the small and medium pouches in 1 trip. According to the wiki, on average, you can get roughly 50 trips an hour using the Abyss to get to the Nature Altar. This average is based on our method of using glories and mining rocks. Once you get the rhythm of this, 50 trips is definitely doable considering you have a decent mining and agility level. For me, I barely failed any of the mining or agility obstacles as my mining level is 86 and my agility level is 80. I used whichever obstacle was closer or made sense depending on where I spawned in the Abyss. When traveling through the Abyss, I hardly took damage from the NPCs. I did eat a few cheap foods once my HP did get in the 70s just to be safe. Here in this clip you can see a lot of players around my combat level teleport in and it did make me a bit nervous, so I decided to world hop. What I completely forgot was when I world hop, my timer at the bottom restarts. So I changed worlds at 1 hour, 7 minutes and 16 seconds and then I continued for the first roughly 2.5 minutes. Then I stopped to calculate the remaining amount of time I had for my hour. At this point I had 2 minutes and 54 seconds left. While I was calculating the time, more skulled players my combat level teleported in, so I hopped one last time and I resumed at the 30-second mark. My 60 minutes will be completed at the 3-minute and 24-second mark. And here we are, 1 hour of runecrafting double nature runes done. Moving forward, I will be using a real timer for guides that may require world hopping. Time to check the results. So here you see I made 1.1 mil, which is very good considering I don't do this money making method often. Now you see I did use 10 full glories with full charges each, and I am wearing the 11th glory I used with 1 remaining charge. Altogether I did do 43 trips. 42 of those trips I made 108 natures each, and on 1 trip I only made 90 due to forgetting to empty the small and medium pouch. For the supplies I only had to cast the NPC contact spell 4 times. The dueling ring was never used and it was only worn for backup just in case I forgot to replace a chargeless glory. Essence is only 2 coins each. Also, I only used a handful of stamina potions, so with considering the expenses, you can still make roughly 1.1 mil. Thanks for watching and please subscribe, comment, and rate. I will be uploading Moneymaker guides weekly.